Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of CSGO News. I hope you guys all enjoy, and yeah, some pretty crazy things happening. Not too many big stories out there, but let's get into it, alright? Some pretty crazy news these past few days, and if you guys noticed, I have not had my caffeine yet, therefore I'm not, too excited. I'm not talking too fast, but I hope you guys all enjoy the episode. It should be a good one, because first of all, it's Team Furia. They've made a decision which is definitely questionable. If you guys have not heard about the decision so far, it's actually Furia declining the invitation to a Pro League spot. They have now made their official response to this, saying they've made commitments to DreamHack Rio. That's going to be a DreamHack Brazil event at the same time, a point of conflict as well for that ESL Pro League Stage 1, and so they've decided to actually keep their commitments as a business, as an organization, to the first thing they made the commitment to, that being the DreamHack event, instead of actually joining the Pro League. This is the first time I have in my 3.5 years ever seen a team deny a Pro League invitation, although we don't see them too often, and if you guys are wondering how this happened, it's just very confusing to kind of overlook. On the one hand, I do respect it. It's a good, decision to make commitments, but we've had many teams out there, not follow up with commitments, so I guess if they're looking for invites in the future, and especially for DreamHack the circuit over there, which have circuits every single year, maybe it is a better long-term decision because they are almost borderline guaranteed to make Pro League after their undefeated run throughout the group stage of ESEA Mountain Dew League this past season that concluded a few weeks ago. It does make a bit of sense, but a lot of us out there also kind of probably agree if you're going to miss one DreamHack event for an automatic invitation into Pro League, which you'll probably automatically keep your spot as well, so therefore you get additional season for the cost of only one DreamHack event, it's still a very questionable choice. And what makes it all the more of an uproar is the team that ESL did choose to take their spot. It was actually Rogue's spot, then it was Furia invited to take the spot. Furia declined. The next in line, according to ESL, was Luminosity Gaming, a team who was auto-relegated into Mountain Dew League, therefore had no chance to compete for this season's Pro League spot at all, but they've now been gifted the spot after being auto-relegated from ever having a chance to compete for the spot, ahead of a team who could have been chosen, that being Team Singularity, who is not auto-relegated. In fact, they had such a good season 2 seasons ago for ESEA Mountain Dew League. They were actually invited, actually got to go to the promotion tournament or the relegation tournament to fight for that spot. They lost. They were the team to actually lose to Rogue, and the spot was offered to Luminosity Gaming instead of Team Singularity. If you guys want a full breakdown of the situation, I made a video on this yesterday. I think it was a pretty solid explanation as to what's going on and why this decision by ESL was very, very stupid. I will link that video down below if you guys want to watch it. But all in all, Furia making a questionable choice, but got to respect it at the end of the day. It's their choice overall, and they made a pretty good reason as to why they did it. On top of that, though, I think Floppy from Team Singularity really wraps up. He really sums up the overall situation pretty well.
What's up, guys? Just woke up to some great news about not getting the EPL spot. Well, these things do happen. However, next season is going to be my 10th season of Mountain Dew League. Get to compete in online Mountain Dew League with 80 ping in the state of Oregon. So I'm happy for that. Glad to be playing another season at MDL. Making me very happy, making me very queasy. I'm so happy right now.
It's just those videos that make me feel so bad for that guy. Really, really do. You grind for so long, and by our rules, I think by a lot of general consensus out there as well, we thought Singularity was more deserving than Luminosity Gaming. Despite the world rankings, despite the ESL rankings, both those teams are so close ranking-wise, and what makes it all the worse is when you have LG players and the LG org also kind of jabbing at it, more so Boltz, who actually had the balls to reply to the post itself with a scoreline of course, Luminosity Gaming 2-0 sweeping Singularity as well. Not really relevant to why they were chosen whatsoever. And then Luminosity Gaming, they also respond, and yeah, so that makes it all the worse to me. I feel really bad for the Singularity boys. I tried to fight for them. Of course, we really can't change the decision now because there'd be even more uproar about that, but overall I think ESL made the wrong choice here. You guys can let me know what you think down below. And once again, N0thing is now back to competitive CSGO for a short amount of time. It'll be a temporary, only a stand-in replacement for Ricky on that complexity roster for ESL Pro League Season 9. That's going to be Stage 1. A lot of visa issues, Renegade's Gratisfaction, and now Ricky as well, who apparently cannot attend the event due to those issues. So it will be N0thing back in the complexity roster, confirmed on their podcast just last night. So N0thing, welcome back. He will not be a permanent stay, guys. Okay, do not get your hopes up. It'll be N0thing back in complexity once again as Ricky is facing those issues. Now, also on top of that, other roster changes out there, some explanations of those changes. If you guys are a fan of the Movistar Riders, they've actually replaced loWel finally on the roster. loWel, of course, has now joined Hellraisers, and he actually finally explained a long explanation as to why he chose this move over staying with the Movistar Riders. And pretty much a TLDR, if you guys want to read through the entire thing, of course, I'll link it down below. Pretty much there were internal struggles due to the fact the team was apparently making some big decisions and not really including loWel until the last second on those decisions. So he kind of felt maybe a bit out of touch with the team itself, and this came at a time as well where the HR offer did come out, and on top of that, pretty much seeing the achievements that was made by Movistar so far was not living up to his expectations for that roster. So he has now been replaced, and he kind of explained why he made that move to HR. Overall, really can't blame him. I think a lot of us can't really blame him as well. When you compare HR to a team like Movistar, it's such a disparity. I don't blame him whatsoever. I wish him the best of luck, because he also in this post admits going to be a lot of challenges, right? A lot of stipulations going into this new roster, the language barrier, the communication barrier there, as well as the roles he'll have to fit. He admits it will not be an easy challenge for him, and so that's why he also took it. So congrats to loWel on the move as well. Thanks for the explanation. I think it's very cool to see why these players actually make these moves. A lot of players do not actually give us the details behind the scenes as to what actually happened and why they made the moves they did. And remember a few days ago when Syman Gaming actually called out Unicorns of Love for cheating? Well, they tried to explain it. It was actually their coach who was going to take to live stream to explain the situation and why they thought Unicorns of Love was suspected of cheating. And to give you guys a TLDR as well, I'll try and link a live stream down below for all of you, an English live stream trying to explain it if I can re-find it. Pretty much so, it was a lack of rotations or lack of information for the rotations. I think it came down to about 3 or 4 rounds where it was suspicious, okay? I will side with Syman on one thing. It was a bit suspicious, but at the very most, it's circumstantial evidence, which is probably what you expected, right? You can't really prove much from a VOD unless you have a clear-cut image of cheating, and even then, in a VOD, you're gonna have a different disparity between FOV for us and FOV for the actual player as well, what they saw. But either way, it was pretty lackluster. I'll give them that. It was bad. It wasn't really much in terms of anything beyond circumstantial evidence. Again, there was a few rounds where it did look a bit like, why were they rotating there? And he tried to explain that, but all in all, probably not worthy of the accusations on Twitter so far. Unicorns of Love remain somehow uncaught as of right now. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say, I'm not trying to accuse them either. Anyway, moving on, very last story out there. AVANGAR is also remaining with Sanji on the roster. If you guys remember, it was now nearly a month ago that Krizzen was off the roster due to injury, and he is now in need of further rehabilitation. So a pretty serious injury, as Sanji will stay with that AVANGAR roster for now, and hopefully Krizzen will be back sometime soon in preparation for the major. So as always, I hope you guys all enjoy several tournaments this weekend, and I will definitely be breaking them down Monday. Thank you guys all for watching. Also remember, CSGO Talk episode tomorrow is going to be all about Dazed, and then next week we're going to do a follow-up CSGO Talk about where are the iBuyPower players. It was a very fun video to make. I hope you guys can stop by tomorrow to watch that, and of course I'll see you back here Monday breaking down tournaments and other CSGO news. As always though, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Drink some coffee for me. And yeah, I'll see you guys back here Monday. Until then, take care of yourselves.